my friends? I got it. I said I got it. How are you guys? Okay.
Can I use that one on the top?
Yeah, sure can. Sure can. Shouldn't I just be ready? Hey, here's the deal. I'm gonna be all the kinds of honest with you right now. I have this much content planned, 0. But I'm a little lit up and a little bit on fire. And so I hope that it translates. I don't really know what's gonna happen. Let's just go with that. You're gonna write me a note right now?
Just do your thing.
I can't find it. Okay, got it. Got it. How are you guys? It's Thursday. We're like nearing the end of April. Well, I mean, we're like halfway through. No, we're nearing the end.
Yeah.
I was like looking at my calendar.
We're definitely at the end.
It takes me a minute.
Last week. Last push.
Okay.
Do you want it up like that?
Yeah, so can you do it? All right. Do you want to see back my phone?
There you go.
So I can't read your comments. I broadcast on my computer, and I can't read your comments on my computer. They don't load fast enough. So I want to hear what you're saying.
Again.
Kim, thank you. That's a sweet compliment. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Can't close these doors.
It's fine. Oh. That's back to the floor. Okay. How are you guys? Hey, I just want to say hi to my friend Jill, who just had back surgery, and I love you, and I've been praying for you and thinking about you, and you are so strong and brave and amazing. Sarah, thanks for loving my lip color. It's just like red. You know, when you just need some red, it's good. Cheryl, you just earned annual sales tonight. That's amazing. A huge congratulations to you. That is absolutely amazing. That's so awesome. So I'd love to know, I'd love for you to say hi if you're watching live, or if you're watching the replay, I'd love to know you're watching the replay. And I'd love to know, whatever. I'd love to know where you're from. That's like my favorite thing to look at, is I love to know where you're from, I think. Yeah. Kelly's here from Western Pennsylvania. Well, hi. Y'all are so sweet tonight. Thanks for being all sweet. Michelle is watching on YouTube from Southern California. Well, I love you back. Carol from Pennsylvania. I'm so excited to see you guys. Jennifer said, just recruited 3 of my friends this week. Pretty happy. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy too. Fantastic. That's awesome. Kim's watching on YouTube from Maryland. Trudy from Ohio. Hey, you guys. It's so good to see you. Okay. So I told you that I didn't have any content planned. And so here's the thing. I always said that I would do this every week until I didn't have anything to say. So the way, I don't know, I guess I'll explain it to you. First of all, welcome. Welcome to Online Steps to Success. Maybe I should introduce myself. That's a great idea. So my name is Allison Dalkey. I am so glad that you're here. We've been doing this for like, I don't know, a couple of years now. Every Thursday, it used to be every Tuesday, once a week, live, hanging out with you, talking about how to make your business smarter, how to make you make more money so you can change your life and the world around you. And I want you working smarter, not harder. I want you making a profit, all the things. So that's always been our focus and our goal. And usually in the beginning of the week, I kind of prep through and plan out content, and based on things I'm hearing or messages I'm getting or whatever, I will start to kind of create content for a Thursday night. And this week I just didn't. And sometimes I just show up and I just have things on my heart, and I have some things on my heart. So, oh, Heather just earned annual sales today too. That is amazing. Heather, that's so awesome. Y'all are like seriously amazing. Unbelievable. I love it. So I want to talk a little bit tonight about, I just want to talk about this business. I want to talk about direct sales. I want to talk about um, the hard and the beautiful part of this. So I've been doing this for almost 12 years. November will be 12 years. And because of that, I have a team that's been around for a very long time. A lot of my team has been around for a very long time. Obviously, we have new people, all the things, and that's really amazing. But I think one of the things that has always really made my heart beat is I mean, this business changed my life. It changed everything about who I am. It changed it changed me personally, and then it changed my family and a million things, right? So I'm a huge fan. And it's been a few years. I think it's been like maybe 3 or 4 years. I did a launch party for one of my team members. And she hosted the party at one of her good friend's house. And this friend of hers had been in another direct sales company for like a decade and had made it to the top of the company and done really, really well. And so I'm there. And I think at this point, I'd been in like maybe 8 years, a long time. And so I'm asking her, like, why did you leave? Like, what? I couldn't wrap my brain around, like, why would you leave? And she sat and told me the story about, she's like, I got burnt out and I felt like I couldn't run my business well and take care of my family and be there for my family like I needed to be. And I remember thinking, like, what do you mean? Like, it kind of wrecked me a little bit, like wrecked me, crushed me, had me very confused. And so much so that day on my way home, I pulled over in a parking lot at a donut. I remember all of this so vividly. I pulled over in a parking lot at a donut place and got on the Superstar Director page and just kind of shared my heart. Like, I don't want this to be us. I don't want us to leave after 10 years because we're tired or we're burnt out or we feel like we can't take care of our business and our family at the same time. And it got me really, really emotional. And I just kept thinking, how do we keep that from happening? How do we make the shift of away from this constant hustle, because think about it. All right. So if you joined yesterday or you've been around for 10 years, I want you to think about this. This is the reality of the business that you're in. You're in a sales-based business and every single month, everything starts all over again, right? So you have a great month, you have a great 6 months, you have a great incentive period, you have a great year and you earn annual sales. And then the very next month you start over again. Wah, wah, right? Oh, bummer. It's kind of like, it sort of feels like you're on a hamster wheel sometimes and you're moving the needle, right? But it can become frustrating. And so I started really thinking about this, like, why I couldn't wrap my brain around why would somebody walk away? And she was making great money. She was at the top of her company. And after a decade decided to leave. And her reasoning to me, and granted, I don't know if she told me the whole truth. I don't, maybe there was something else. I don't know. But she told me that she left because she felt like she couldn't take care of her business and her family. And I just kept thinking, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, that's why you do this business. So you can be there for your family and be there for and run a business at the same time, right? Like, that's why we do this thing. And so it kind of wrecked me, in all honesty. And I was just in this season where I wasn't discouraged necessarily, but I was kind of in the like, it kind of feels like a hamster wheel. It kind of feels like the same thing for the past 8 years, And I was like, man, how do I get out of that? Because I don't want to live in that, right? Like, I don't want to live doing this business where people are like, oh, here she comes again, right? Or like, oh, I don't know. I didn't want to lose fire. Like I didn't want to lose the fire and the passion that was me. And so I did some like deep diving and thought, okay, how do we as an organization say we're not going to stand on the side of burnout? We're not going to encourage our consultants and our leaders to burn out, to wear themselves down, to run themselves into the road. Like, how do we do the opposite of that? How do we build a culture where it is okay for you to have a really great business and to live your life, right? So it wrecked me. And in all honesty, it's sort of wrecked me ever since. This concept of, because look, I told you earlier, if you're just joining, like I'm almost at 12 years in this business. And there are days and times when I wonder, can I do it for another 10? I mean, in just full disclosure, like I've wondered, can I do it for another 10? And that conversation that I had that day with that consultant from another company who decided to leave after a decade, I thought, maybe I can't. Like, if she couldn't, maybe I couldn't. And then honestly, like the more that I thought about it and the more that I prayed about it and the more that I started to process it, because remember, I talk every week about how over-informed we are as a society, but under-reflective. Like we have so much information, but we don't take time to reflect. And so I really spent some time reflecting on that, like, because this is my life. This is my whole job, right? And so I started thinking like, okay, can I really do this? And can I do it well? And can I do it in a way that honors my family? And I hope that you see that the things that we do and the way that we live our life and the way that we share our business it's not, I think some people would say it's countercultural to direct sales in general, in that we don't blast all over everywhere. Like I do not wear Scentsy shirts everywhere. I'm not like, it's a little bit different than what I think people think that it has to look like. And we've talked about this in the past few weeks about how we can attract people to us, how we can create curiosity around what we do, all those things. But it really started from sort of the shift that I made in my business and in the stories that I was telling and in the way that I was talking about this business and this lifestyle, came from that one conversation of that person who was at a top level of the company walking away after a decade. That I could do it well and that I could do it with confidence and that I could do it in a way that honored my marriage, that honored my family, that allowed me to have time to serve in my church, to serve in other places. Like, I don't want to work myself to the bone. And I think the more that I reflected about that conversation and the more that I thought about what she said to me and about her saying, I didn't think I could do both well. The more I thought about that, the more I knew that it was wrong. I know that this can be done well, but I think sometimes that our culture tells us it has to look a certain way. And I think sometimes that direct sales in general has put this sort of bubble around what it should look like and how you need to converse with people and how you need to put yourself out there and how you need to do certain things. So a couple things I want to just like hopefully convey to you tonight is that, one, I think that if you want this to be a side gig, that if you want this to be side money and that's what you want it to be, then I think that's okay. I think one of the mistakes that we make sometimes is that we push people too far into something. Now, I'm going to get to the other side. I will get there too, okay? But I do think that there's seasons when you saying, I'm making an extra $200 a month, I'm making an extra $500 a month, I'm making whatever it is, I'm making this amount, and I'm really good with that. And I'm good with that, and that's good for me in this season. I think that's okay. What I think is not okay, and I think what pushes people away from direct sales, is when we as leaders or when we as sponsors or whatever try to say, no, that's not okay. It's not okay. You have to do more. You always have to be going, you could do so much more. You need to be doing so much more. You should be doing so much more. Yes and no. There comes a time when we have to trust that I have to trust that you know what's best for you and that you know what's best for your family. And that I don't need to push you someplace you don't want to go. That's where some of you are. And so if you're in that place and you're making whatever it is for you, and that feels good to you, and you're not living in fear, and you don't have this tension because you're not doing something, but that you're really good with where you're at, and it's a blessing to your family, and it's a gift, and it's a little bit of time that you get to yourself, and it's this thing. If that's where you're at and you want to be there, I think that's okay. I think it's perfectly okay. Not everyone's going to agree with this. I realize that. I think it's okay. And I think that as leaders and as sponsors and as team builders, we need to understand that everybody has their own journey and everybody is in their own season. And yes, there is a part of us that needs to coach and lead and guide and pull some things out of people. Yes. But there's also the time for us to say, you're doing really great. Like, I love having you here. I love having you here doing exactly what you're doing. And if that's all that you ever do, I'm glad that you're here. And I hope that you stay. But sometimes we push people away because we want them to be more than they want to be. And I know so many people who get so hung up on the fact that they have team members who they literally just want to put in their 200 PRV and stay active. And that's okay. And there's some of you that want to put in your 200 PRV only to stay a consultant. And that's okay. That's okay. That may mean you have zeros for a couple months in a row. And that's okay, if it's okay for you. So I'm good with that. And I want you as a leader or as a sponsor or growing your team, I want you to process through that and think, am I going to be okay with that? And how am I going to handle that? Realizing that we are all so different and that we are all on different paths is part of it's the key, okay? That what you want and what I want are different things, and that's okay. It's 100% okay. What I'm not okay with, I'm not okay with you not living into your full potential. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with you making excuses. I'm not okay with you saying, I don't have time. I don't have the resources. I don't have the personality. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough about technology. I'm not okay with you making excuses. I think one of the biggest hangups that we have in direct sales in general is that because the industry changes so much, and really it's not just the industry, it's just life. So social media constantly changes, the way that we interact with people constantly changes. And if you're not willing to change, if you're not willing to step into the personal growth journey that this entire thing is, and you're just going to be stuck where you're at, it becomes very, very easy for you to hide behind excuses. It becomes very easy for you to say, I just had another baby. I'm working a full-time job. I don't have time. I don't know anything about Instagram. I can't because. It's really, really, that's the crappiest thing about this business. It is so, so easy for you to hide behind your excuses and not do anything. And it's the thing that irritates me the most. It's the thing that makes me want to squeeze people. because some of you are not happy with what you're doing. You're not happy with where you're at. You're making excuses over and over again. But you're hiding behind them every stinking time. I know you have excuses. I have excuses. Every single one of you watching have excuses. We all have a million excuses. The only person that you hurt by hiding behind your excuses is you. It's only you. It's not anybody else. So we've got to wrap our brain around the fact that just because you only have to sell X amount of dollars every so many months, whatever, it's pretty easy to stay active. If you build a team big enough, it's pretty easy to just meander along and do your thing and not really, really lead, or not really, really engage, or not really continue to build. Just because that's how it actually is doesn't mean that it's actually okay for you to do that. You know why people leave? Because they lose the fire behind why they're doing what they're doing. They lose the vision behind what this business can be. Honestly, I think about, I wish now that I would have had the guts to say something to her. Not say something, that sounds so confrontational. It's like I wanted to fight her. I didn't. But I wish now I would have just said, like, if you would have just reached down, if you would have changed a little bit, if you would have pressed into the process, like the gift that you could have, the gift that your family could have, what you could be giving to other women is, it's not even, you can't even count it. Then you walked away from it. How many of you are saying it's too hard, it's too complicated, you have to be too consistent, you have to put in too much time, you have to know too much about social media? How many of you are in that mindset right now where you're thinking, I mean, what's it hurt? What's it hurt if I don't do it? What's it hurt if I don't fully do it? What's it hurt if I don't step into it? You know what it hurts? It hurts you. Because you're sitting in that place of mediocrity, just being. I don't remember the last time that just sitting in mediocrity felt like life. But I know that stepping into who you're called to be and using the gifts that you've been given in this business to not only influence your family, but the lives of every other woman and man that you will invite on your team, that's how you impact people. That's how you live life. That's how you continue to move and give and change. I'm not saying that you have to have it all together. I'm not saying that you have to know. I can't see a decade from now. I mean, I try and I have vision of what I want it to look like, but am I going to feel this fire? Am I going to be this passionate? I sure as hell am going to try. I'm going to wake up every day remembering what this business has been to me. But it starts with you. And the biggest hurdle you have is you. You are your biggest defense. You're the one that stops you over and over and over again. It's not anybody else's excuse. It's not your sponsor. It's not your leader. It's not your upline. It's not your downline. I don't care about the rest of them. I care about you. You are the one holding yourself back. You are the one believing the lies in your head. You are the one keeping yourself safe. Our brains and our minds were created to keep us safe. In a world where we needed to find shelter and find food and stay warm, our brains were created to identify a threat and say, I don't know how it's going to go. So let's not do that because we might die. All right, look, you're not going to die. You're not. Well, we're all going to die. You're not going to die from stepping into what you know you're supposed to be doing in your business. You're not going to die by asking your best friend to join your team. You're not going to die from sharing the newest product that you've fallen in love with from our catalog. You're not going to die. You're not. It feels scary because your brain keeps telling you, I don't know how it's going to go. It could be bad. Not sure. It's a liar. It's a liar. It was meant to keep you safe. I don't know. Name one person. Name one incredible, great person who changed the world, who did amazing things in their lives, who played it safe. They didn't. They took risks. They did the things that they had to do to move the needle, to change the world, to inspire nations, to inspire groups of people, right? Martin Luther King didn't play it safe, right? Think of all the people in this world who never played it safe. Your mind is tricking you into mediocrity. It is lying to you, and you were created for so much more than that. Listen, I'm okay with you being okay where you are if you're okay with it. It's fine. What I'm not okay with is you succumbing to fear, is you believing the self-doubt that's inside of you. I'm not okay with you listening to the voices in your head that are saying you are not good enough, you are not smart enough, you are not enough. Listen, you're enough. And you're not too much. You're just right enough. And everything that you are, and everything that you've stepped into, and every single role that you have, mom, wife, daughter, business owner, teacher, friend, whatever, wherever you're at, nurse, like wherever you have been placed, all the things that have been handed to you, you are more than equipped to do. You were born to do them. All of them. I have those days sometimes with my kids when I think, how do I do this? How do I do this? You know, I have 4 from 12 to 3, 2 girls and 2 boys. The boys are in the middle, my girls are on the ends. And there really are days when I think, I'm not equipped for this. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this conversation. I don't know how to handle this situation. You've all felt that, right? When we just I don't know. Like, this one's too much. Like, I don't have anything else to give or say, or I don't know. The thing is, you don't have to know every answer. You don't have to know everything, because where you're at, those kids that you have, they were made for you, because you have something to give them that nobody else can. That job that you have, that spouse that you have, for you, because you were born to do this job. Now listen, I'm not saying that you're going to do this for a decade or 2. I'm not saying that this is, honestly, I can't say that. I can't say that it's going to change your life, because that's up to you. Because remember when I said that you are your biggest defense? You're the person stopping yourself over and over and over again. You're letting your mind win. You're letting your fear win. You're letting your self-doubt win. You are your biggest defense. I can't tell you if it's going to change your life, because that's up to you. It's up to you and you alone. The good news is you are your biggest offense too. You get to control everything that happens to you. Now, do I get to control the circumstances around me? No. And there will be screaming toddlers, and there will be unforeseen sickness, and there will be tragedy, and there will be lots and lots and lots of things that life will throw at you. But you get to control how you view them, how you react to them, what your attitude is, That's you. Yeah, guess what? Suck is going to happen to all of you. If it hadn't happened yet, it's going to happen. Suck happens. It's going to happen. Something in your life is going to suck bad. But you're the one who gets to control how you react to it, how you move forward, how you heal, right? You are your biggest defense, but you're also your biggest offense. So when it comes to thinking about, is this business for me? Can I do this well? Can I do this well for a decade? Can I do this well for 2? It's all going to come down to you. It's going to come down to you changing your mind about the way that you view your business, about the way you view your circumstances, about the way that you view every single thing around you. It's going to come down to you. I think back to that lady, and if you are just joining us, I'm going to tell this story one more time. I met a woman several years ago at a launch party of one of my team members who had been with another company for over a decade, at the top of their company, super successful, earning significant amounts of money. And she walked away. And I asked her why she walked away. And she said she didn't feel like she could manage her family and her business well, both together. And it wrecked me. Because that is what this business is. But when we get in the position where that's the thing that we believe, that's the lie that we believe, that I can't do both well, that is you succumbing to your own defense. You believed the lie that you're not enough, that you can't manage, that you can't change, that you can't grow, that you can't fix, that you can't shift, that you can't alter. Listen, you can change anything. You can change it right now. You don't love the way it looks, change it. Make it different. If you're spending 4 hours a week delivering product, change it. Do something different. You are the only person who can change your situation and your business. You and you alone. You are the only person who can answer the question, can I do this well for 10 years? Only you. Not your sponsor, not your leader, not your anybody, nobody else. You. You. And the only thing that I know for sure is that your values have to stay at the forefront. For me, that means I don't hustle. I know some of you love that word. I just don't like it. I work really hard when it's time to work. But I'm not losing my mind because my family comes first and my business comes second. Actually, Jesus comes first. My husband comes, but I was made to do this. And you were made to do what you're doing. Is it going to be hard to figure it out? Yeah, it is. It's going to be hard to figure out, okay, wait a minute. I have busted my butt trying to do this and do it well. Listen, you can do it and do it well and not feel like you're constantly drowning. Change and adapt and evolve. You have to keep learning. You have to keep growing. You have to keep challenging yourself, and you have to keep reflecting. Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Sometimes it just takes a tiny little shift. One tiny shift can change the trajectory of where you end up. But you're the only one steering the ship. You're the only one who can make the shift. Stop waiting around for someone else to do it for you. If you're unhappy about something, if something is stressing you out, if you're struggling to make something happen, do something different. There are approximately 8,000 ways to do this well. You have to find your way. Some of you are so stuck and so frustrated and so like, oh, I feel like I'm in a hamster wheel because you're doing it someone else's way. Step into your way. Put your values first. Put your family first. Your faith. Your marriage. I'll tell you what almost wrecked this whole thing for me was when I got it all out of order. I thought that my worth would come from the work that I did. I wanted to be good and I wanted to do good. And I didn't have good boundaries. And I thought that me working and working all the time meant that I was good. And what I didn't know is that I was watching my marriage fall apart right in front of me. And I was watching my faith slip through my fingers. And I woke up one day making more money than I'd ever made in my life because of this business. And I was the least happy that I had ever been because I got it out of order. I got it out of order. I thought that my work would prove that I was good. It wasn't my work. It never was my work. It was supposed to be my faith first. And then my man, who I had totally neglected by working late and not going to bed with him and not spending quality time with him and all the things, all in the excuse of work. And growing and building, doing this thing. Money doesn't make you happy. Good work does. Purpose does. But money won't. So if you can't get things in order now, you're just in for a world of hurt later. I'm okay with you being okay with wherever you're at. I'm not okay with you making excuses about why you can't be who that still small voice inside you is calling you to be. I'm not okay. You were made for this thing. The thing you're in the middle of right now, whatever mess it is, whatever beauty it is, whatever crazy it is, you were made for it. And it's time that you started believing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You are good. And there is good inside you. There's good work. There's good purpose. There's good service. There's all the good things. But you cannot let the fear and the self-doubt keep you from being who you're called to be. This business isn't just about you. And some of you are hung up because you think that it is. It's not. It's about so much more than you. It's about you and your spouse or your significant other and your family. It's about the people that you will connect with. It's about women and men who will join your team and be changed. It's about where you'll give and where you'll serve. It's about so much more than you. Do not cower under self-doubt or fear or darkness. You were made to shine. Don't let fear stop you from doing that. Do I think I can do this for another decade? Well, yeah, I do. I do. Because it's in the right order in my life. It's not everything. man, is it a big thing and a good thing and a blessing. And there are other things. There's other things that I love and enjoy, and that's how it should be. I want to live a life that's full, and I want this to be part of it. And when we put things in the right order, and we stop being the defense to ourselves that keeps us from moving forward, we allow ourselves to play offense. We allow ourselves to move. We allow ourselves to grow and change. Then it doesn't just affect us, it affects so many other people. Can you do this for a decade well? Yeah, I think you can. But you can't be scared. And you can't be fearful. And you can't be unwilling to change. The change part is messy and it's hard, but it's the part that makes it all work. You can do it well and honor your faith, and your family, and your marriage, and have a great business. But it's all up to you. You and you alone. So there you have it. You just got what you got tonight. So I hope it's helpful. I hope that it at least got you thinking and reflecting about where you're at, where you're going, why you're here. Love you. Hope you have a great Thursday night. Hope you have a great weekend ahead. I really hope that I get to see you in Austin this year. And that's another one of those, like, hey, let's not make excuses. Let's do the things, right? Let's do the things. Love you. Talk to you soon. See you next Thursday. Bye. Maybe bye. It just takes a minute. It's just the awkward part. We're trying to end it all. Bye, YouTube.